What's generally considered sexy but a turnoff for you? I don't know if this is a generally common mainstream thing, but I've experienced it with so many women I've dated. It feels like some kind of new norm, graphically talking about the acts you did with another partner. Don't get me wrong, I understand everyone has a past and I don't judge, but it's a massive turnoff for me just because I don't want to imagine the last guy you slept with. Same energy as I know everyone craps, that's fine, but I still do not want to hear an explicit description of the things that slid out of the last time you went to the toilet. Story 2. Women that expect men to be open wallets. I had a few relationships like this, and frankly, I'm an idiot for not realizing this sooner. Factoring all the dinners and gifts and everything, I lost about 20 to 30,000 per 2-year relationship. Ever since the last gold-digging woman, I make it a point to never date women that aren't working or don't have a financial plan for their future, and put my experiences up front with any potential partner and tell her about my sensitivity about the subject. Story 3. It's quite possible that I have a rare fantasy or something, but women's groans really turn me off if they're louder than a whisper. I often have to skim through tons of videos for hours just to find something that appeals to me, and yes, there are some women out there who are just naturally quiet during intimacy. It's the sounds of her that interest me, but most people just give me weird looks and say something like, "That's like going on a roller coaster without the screaming." But I don't know, people go on roller coasters just to hear other people scream, let alone pay attention to the passengers instead of the ride itself. Story 4. Makeup. I just can't get over how much time and money goes into it, and it drastically changes the look of your face. To me, I get that it may level the playing field, making anyone look more conventionally attractive, but in my view, it also detracts from your own beautiful and unique look. It also makes me worry that you may be battling with how the world sees you. My wife almost never wears makeup. Sometimes, she'll put on a bit of eyeliner because she knows that each of our moms judges her physical appearance, and sometimes she just wants to get ahead of it to avoid little comments. A few times that she spent an hour or more doing her makeup, I ask her how she feels about it. Her answer is always just annoyance about the time it takes and society's annoying focus on physical appearance and uniformity. Her sister struggles with her appearance as well and won't even leave the house without spending an hour or more doing makeup, so she feels comfortable and attractive. To me, we should all do whatever brings us joy without adversely affecting others, but I often wonder about the balance of healthy and unhealthy joy in these situations. Story 5. For me, 2 things come to mind. One more plain, the other more explicitly sexy. First, for lack of a better way to put it, the stereotypical sorority girl look. I think it's primarily a hairstyle and makeup thing, though part of it is also just how one presents oneself through body language and so on. While I don't think any of those people are ugly, I also don't find them aesthetically attractive to any extent. This type of aesthetic seems popular for some reason, and I don't get it. Second, lingerie. I don't think lingerie looks good. It's busy, frustrating to look at. I'm not a fan of the texture. It's overpriced, etc., etc. I don't understand why people like lingerie. Normal garments are sexier, in my opinion. Story 6. Super skinny chicks. I like chicks with a little bit of extra cushion on them. They just strike me as more authentic and down to earth. I find there's a strong percentage of women who fit the stereotypical hot girl category and are just downright rude. Also, the putting too much makeup some girls put on for formal events. My ex always put way too much on for junior and senior prom in high school. When I date someone, I like them for who they are, not all caked with makeup. But you can't say anything because prom is a type where they can all get dolled up and look how they want to look. It just seems so long ago since I've been out of high school for 2 years and haven't dated anyone since then. Story 7. The standard straight corn scenario plot usually involves light play for the woman. So boring. I've had intimate encounters with women who thought that's what I would be into, and I had to gently shift the tone, explain that it's fine to relax and have fun, experiment, ask each other questions, and truly get turned on. For the most part, taking that pressure to literally perform off was fantastic. However, in a small percentage of situations, they simply couldn't leave the script that some stupid group consensus arrived at in the late 90s. That's fairly frustrating. Also, I'm so bored by the vast majority of corn for guys, it's kind of funny. Like, who really thinks siblings are hot? Because you all are some sick truckers, but I guess I'm glad you have corn to work out your fantasies. Though I sure hope those aren't practice videos to work yourselves up. For me, real romantic scenarios that tell a relatable story involving intimacy are sexy. I bet this is true for a lot of guys out there, but we don't seem to matter when basic mother truckers get turned on by some video of a man with his sister who's too stupid to free herself from a front-loading washing machine. Story 8. Having my hair pulled, being bitten, etc. Sometimes I can tolerate it when I'm with a freak, but sometimes I just can't deal. Pain is far less sexy and mostly just angers me. Just recently, she was intoxicated and grabbing me. I was sunburnt and asked her to stop, and she tried telling me I like it. I had to correct her on that. Then she was trying to bite me, and I told her to stop that, and then pulling my hair at one point, but hard enough it felt like she was going to pull some of my head. I have no problem doing this stuff to her if she wants it, but that is not my thing. Too annoying. I can't perform under those conditions. Story 9. Basically anything that's not in any way functional other than for appeal. Long nails, garments that either show everything or shows everything except the main event. Lace, unnaturally augmented body shapes of any kind. Long eyelashes, and makeup that changes the lines of the face. I'm okay with hair coloring, but holy crap, the rest of it just makes me think of all the time and money she wasted for someone who very much cares about those things, which definitely isn't me. The controversial thing for me that doesn't make sense is the desire for big melons. If there's a size and shape that looks functional, not burdensome, that looks good to me. Basically, the more she looks like she thinks more about the world around her than her own body, the more attractive she is. I know I'm a weirdo, but on the plus side, I'm easy to please. Story 10. Whenever this question gets asked, we inevitably have the responses about terrible plastic surgery. This time around, it looks like lip injections are taking the spotlight. Nobody, or at least hardly anybody, finds obnoxious, botched cosmetic surgeries attractive. Trout lips aren't meant to look terrible. They just ended up looking terrible for some other reason. People really need to understand the countless good cosmetic surgeries exist, and the reason nobody notices them is because they were intended to look natural and not be noticed. The ones that do get noticed are the ones that are terrible, so I think that's why people may be led to believe that some people find them attractive. Moreover, I'm almost certain no one finds the Kardashian bums attractive, but you have to understand that this is a brand now. It isn't necessarily bad attraction. A big, terrible-looking bum has probably served as an excellent trademark for Kim K. Conspicuous consumption is a thing. Probably really helped her brand. Attraction isn't the be-all end-all here. It's important to recognize that a lot of context goes into horrible-looking plastic surgeries, and yes, everyone thinks they look terrible. You aren't in line for thinking that stupid-looking butt and lip implants look like crap. Story 11. Back scratching. There was one time I was getting busy with this girl when she asked, "Is it okay if I scratch her back?" I wasn't very experienced at the time, and I thought it would be hot, so I said, sure. But at the second her nails piercing my back turned into pain, my thing went limp. The rest of the day went horrible, but for other reasons. I was a very dumb kid. It was very nice of her to ask me first, now that I think about it. Story 12. I have a couple of female friends. I'm also a girl, whose taste in guys run toward the huge, jacked, bodybuilder-looking guys. They think the big, strong man looks super hot, and I don't mean just athletic guy who plays sports and lifts at the gym. I mean like the guys who have biceps that are 3 times the size of a human leg. Personal preference, but I'm really not into that look. I'm active myself, and I prefer guys who look like they're reasonably strong or fit or in shape because they're active and maybe keep fit playing soccer or skiing, biking, running, etc. Fit or strong or athletic is hot, but the hugely muscled look is just not attractive to me at all. Story 13. It's not really a direct act, like licking an ear, but I've never understood the custom of having a huge meal during a dinner date, especially when you know there's going to be intimacy afterward. I guess I can only speak for myself, but I'm a guy in my 30s now. If I eat a steak with a baked potato, asparagus, and 2 glasses of beer or wine, my body is going to be making all kinds of creepy noises all night long, and I'll probably have to burp like every 5 minutes. Don't get me wrong, I love that, but when I know intimacy is an option afterward, having bodily noises and burping aren't really things I want. In the same vein, I never understood why wine and cheese are considered sexy. Again, I like both, but cheese makes your fingers and breath smell like literal crap, as does wine. I remember I went on a date once and the girl I was with ordered a charcuterie board which had some really pungent cheeses on it. While it tasted good, I had no interest in making out later that night, which led to a very awkward interaction that ended that fling. I guess it sounds shallow, and now that I'm engaged, all that goes out the window, but I'm speaking from an early in the relationship perspective, where the comfort level isn't as high yet. You're holding out for the possibility that maybe this one doesn't even fart. At the very least, don't smell like crap before date number 4. Story 14. All over obvious, highly defined muscles. That to me says I go to the gym instead of my girlfriend's house, and I'm a quality time together person. I'd rather grab my fiance's awesome bum while he's emptying the dishwasher than watch him come home tired from the gym, working on abs, slats, etc., and not want to do anything together. If your body lets you live and enjoy the life you want, then it is a great body, and you should enjoy having it. It doesn't have to look a certain way to be good. Story 15. There was a girl I was talking to for a while, and then she started coming over to my house. We didn't even have intimacy for a bit while she's been visiting, though when she finally did, it would start out fine. Once the passion rose a bit, though, she would start scratching me. Hard. I didn't know what to say at first because I really liked her and didn't want to offend her, so I would grab her arms and hold them down. Eventually, she asked me to stop before we got started again, and I made a joke about her having free reign to scratch the crap out of me. It completely flew over her head what that meant, which I thought was blatantly obvious. So as things progressed, she started scratching my chest again with absolutely no remorse. I grabbed her arms, looked her straight in the eyes, and kind of yelled, "Who's that for?" I asked her if it was a turn-on for her, and she said it was, and thought every guy liked that being done to them. She even said I was weird for not wanting it and called me soft for some crap. Lol. She would seriously dig her fingernails into my neck, chest, and stomach, which left bad marks. Who the hell would want that? Anyway, I just smoked a bowl and mowed my lawn before writing all this. So sorry for the hazy ramblings. Story 16. Number 1. Clubs. I don't understand their appeal. I'm also uncertain how much money I should be tossing at these women or why I'm tossing it at all. I've only been there one night, but I remember just watching the dances and thinking to myself, is this worth the dollar? When do I throw the dollar? Just like $5 up there. Should I throw it now? Is it worth my money? After that, we went to another club right after, and people were just throwing stacks of hundreds. I don't know why people like to do that. Number 2, implants. My first and only experience with fake implants was at the same club, called Tootsie's, down in Miami. A girl was dancing around the bar thingy. I've only been to clubs this one time, so I have no idea what it's actually called. Anyway, she was getting people to smack her on the bum. I joined in with my single dollar, and when I smacked it, it honestly felt like smacking wet concrete. There was no give. It was an unpleasant feeling. She then turned around, and my friend put a dollar on my face so she would pick it up with her melons, which was also fake. She slapped me in the face as she wiggled to get the dollar with these damn things. I'm surprised I didn't get a black eye. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Story 17. Here's my list of turnoffs. Jewelry. All your necklaces, piercings, and all that stuff is ugly and distracting. If you're ugly, you're ugly. If you're pretty, you're pretty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder in the end. It twists my gut to think that people are wearing all those big pieces of metal. They don't improve your look. They overcomplicate it. Painted nails. They are disgusting and ugly. The fact that they're painted disgusts me, and the bright colors distract me. Especially blue and green. Screw those colors. Long nails. Unsanitary, pointy, and ugly. Really impractical, and it irks me to think that there are people living like that. Soft skin. Yeah, I said it. I'd rather have a girl who doesn't spend hours and thousands of dollars in skincare. Just the bare minimum. Thick women. I want a girl with ripped abs, not big melons. Can you grate cheese on melons? No. Can you do it on abs? Hell yeah. Checkmate. Older women, 40 or 50, use too much makeup. Yeah, I said it. I don't want a woman to just put on makeup and try to look like an eldritch abomination. People of color using white girl makeup. Embrace who you are. Don't adopt fleeting trends. Duck lips. I don't want a racial stereotype giving me a whistle. Makeup in general. While it can be used for self-expression and fun, most women use it to cover up flaws. That's dishonest, in my opinion. Be yourself and go with it. Someone will find you hot. Feminine dresses. No, I don't hate them, but damn, I just want a girl who can rock a business suit and pants and all that. Personality and behavioral preferences. Daddy or mommy pen names. Ew, ew, ew. I don't want my parents involved in intimacy. My dad's just too wholesome, and most of my preferences developed out of the hate I have for my own mother. No, she's not Satan. I'm just a little witch. I'm justified hating of video games and pitying gamers. God, I hate people who are just like, video games are stupid and pathetic. I don't have a problem with someone who respectfully disagrees, but many women want gamers gone and fed to geese. Emotional women. I want a girl who can articulate her ideas and admit when she's wrong. I don't want arguments to be screaming matches. I want peace, damn it. Women who lean entirely into femininity or masculinity. I used to think that I had to pick one or the other, but it turns out people have layers and are far too complex to embody a single idea. I want someone who's balanced, and I might be asking too much, but leaning into masculinity a little. The cool girl. I want someone to call me out when I'm wrong. I want someone to be honest about their diets and if they have to work out and eat veggies to stay fit. I admire them. Like, a lot. High pitches. They're annoying and loud. I'd rather have a normal pitched or deep-voiced woman over a friggin' anime character, even if I love anime and writing manga. Baby mannerisms. I want an emotionally mature woman, not a flipping child. I'm already frustrated enough by my own incompetence. I don't need another loser in my life. Women who sit in a metaphorical throne and require the man to get on their level. People already tell me to get on their level enough in CSGO and in real life. I don't need someone just saying that. There's so many more fish in the sea, and I'd have to be down galactic to want intimacy that bad. Women who want absurdly macho men and shun femininity in men. Which, I just want to draw my comics in peace and cry myself to sleep because I'm a failure. I know I'm a pathetic person and an even worse example, but if I was emotionally stable, I could make for a better example. I want someone who won't shame me for having emotions or drawing. Yeah, some women think that's gay. Story 18. I don't get the huge bums. I like a nice fit bum, but I don't understand the fascination with the huge ones. Also, I really don't get all those things that women do to make their legs seem longer. Give me a girl in Chuck Taylors instead of some weird high heels that she can't walk in, and without mom jeans that go up between the belly button and the chest would come back, just to make women's legs seem longer. Not sure if I'm the weird one here. Are there any dudes requesting this, or is this primarily a lady thing? Like with the long nails, that's a female thing as I've understood. Story 19. Corn. I can't get excited from making corn. Watching corn is a big turnoff for me, but not because I dislike the content. My mind instantly wanders somewhere else. What lens did they use? How was the video mounted? We have some nice bright colors here. I wonder how it looked before color correction. Lol. I see the cameraman, the reflection on her glasses. They should position the lights a bit differently. Guys with cube abs and V-line. I find that unsexy, but I don't want to offend fake guys. I personally don't like that look, but millions of others do. You all do a great job, and it's impressive how motivated you seem. Story 20. Most attempts at physical perfection are a turnoff. I like a bit of fat, body hair, crooked teeth, things not being impeccable. It's like when a person is clean but a touch unkempt or vice versa. That's hot. If it's clear someone has gone all in on self-presentation, it's a turnoff. The extreme of this is the ultra-toned gym body. Not my thing on any gender. Women being fragile or men treating them that way is a major pet peeve. You're a full human, no softer or more vulnerable than males. When I'm Uber driving and a man opens the backseat door for a woman, then hops in the front seat and monopolizes the conversation while she sits in the back on her phone, it's not any one of those things alone that's a problem, but the whole picture. I sometimes expect couples like that to have the man buckle the woman's seatbelt too. Not a sexy thing per se, but viewing the sharing of baggage or negative emotional experiences as the peak of intimacy is misguided. I don't feel especially close to you because I know all your deepest insecurities. I mean, if you want to tell me them, go nuts, but we forge a deep bond by doing things, actually living life and getting things finalized, not by ruminating. Story 21. When someone sits in your lap without asking is a form of flirting. It's a kind of presumption and familiarity that I don't appreciate. Honestly, it has only happened to me once, but she sat down and I sat there in a kind of odd position, like I just dropped a plate of food on myself and didn't want to make a bigger mess. It didn't help that when she did it, she interrupted the conversation I was having with someone else and expected me to just stop talking to them and focus all attention on her. When we've been flirting already and are kind of touchy, it's one thing to make a logical leap to something like that, but when it's their introduction or icebreaker, thinking, I'm a girl who'll love it if I do this. No, I won't. Not automatically. I'll ask you to get up. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button for more videos like this. Story 22. Overly aggressive women are a real turnoff for me. I know this might sound biased, but at work I dealt with a woman my age who flirted a lot and would rub my back in a way that felt too intimate. She has kids with a man who was married when he got her pregnant on 2 separate occasions, and she slept with a lot of guys at my job. When it was my turn for her to notice me, I didn't give her the time of day, which she seemed to take as even more of a challenge. I'd tell coworkers she was annoying, and they'd say, Dude, just sleep with her, bro. Get it over with. I'd respond, Nah, I'm not interested. She's dirty. To that, they'd laugh and say, yeah, man, just wear protection. I'm not sure if this fully answers the question, but for me, a woman with intelligence and self-pride is way sexier than someone who's open to sleeping with just anyone. Story 23. I don't really know if anyone considers this sexy, but being a stay-at-home parent, housewife, or house husband is a huge turn-off for me. The thought of carrying a grown adult who is otherwise perfectly capable isn't at all what I want in a partner. I want an equal who pulls their own weight by helping with our bills, saving for retirement, and saving so we can travel and see the world. They don't have to earn the same as me or have the same career, but they should be at least a productive member of the household and society as a whole. On that note, legal marriage too. Lol. Story 24. Seriously, any kind of romance or lovemaking in a bathroom, and particularly a bathtub, is a complete turnoff for me. I couldn't count the number of sexy scenes in every movie, TV series, everywhere where either the sexy lady or the sexy couple has poured a hot bath and or taken a shower. No, just no. I don't know, to me the toilet is where people do their business. It's utilitarian, like a kitchen. It's for sanitation, and I guess my mind associates showers with utilitarian cleaning. Not to all that, generally the worst lighting in our homes and consider the hard, clunky surfaces, sharp angles, and plastic, all of which are anti-sexy. Oh, just for simple physics? Can I say it that way? For actual physical intimacy, I find a bathtub or shower very, very unhelpful. If you're an athletic or gymnast kind of person, it might be okay, but anyway, bathtub or shower equals turn-off. Story 25. Getting scratched by nails is a major turn-off for me. It sounds terrifying though. I have a skin condition, and hurting me in any way ruins my day. It's not because of the immediate pain, but because I can't stop thinking about how long it's going to take to heal, which can be anywhere from a week to a month. I'll have to be in uncomfortable positions in many situations for so long. I won't be able to sit properly, sleep, or have intimacy. I'll also have to face the torment of trying not to scratch it. It doesn't feel awful at first, it's just the thought of the anticipated torture that's truly awful. This has only happened once. It rarely occurs, and I consider that an advantage. That's a shame I can't be part of this particular fantasy, as I do enjoy understanding different fantasies. Story 26. I'm truly not a fan when women wear a lot of makeup, get their nails done, put on fake eyelashes, and all that superficial nonsense. I much prefer a natural woman. I can't stand when women look fake. All that stuff just isn't attractive to me at all. Women are far more beautiful when they're comfortable without any of that on. And yes, I am married to a woman who doesn't do any of that, and I love her just for who she is. Her inner beauty far exceeds any exterior decorations, and I let her know that daily. As it says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So I praise you, Angel, even here where you will never see it. Yes, Angel is her actual name. I'm deeply and madly in love. God is good. Story 27. Dirty talk. Ish. So I don't really mind it, but oddly enough, it doesn't have the appropriate effect in English, or French, Tagalog, and Mandarin for me. Yet when used by a partner in Arabic, it's a major turn on. I once had a partner who used to blaspheme in Arabic, and it turned me on more than anything else. I'm Arab myself, and most of us were raised moderately. That said, those who have been westernized, like myself, tend to have highly varied views of the world. When we're among one another, it's the similarities and breaking taboos or norms that turn us on the most. Going for the terminological extreme is severely attractive, but hearing it in other languages I mentioned doesn't have the same effect at all. Story 28. Submissive women or men are a turnoff for me, and it's even less attractive cousin, reluctant intimacy, even if it's just the illusion of reluctant intimacy, is equally unappealing. It seems especially common in Japanese culture, where the woman sounds like they're being hurt and always look incredibly uncomfortable. I literally can't watch porn unless the couple is, at the very least, convincingly enjoying themselves. It's gotten even worse lately with the popularity of the "I'm stuck, please help by putting your thing while I protest" corn. Like, what? I get that a pretend fantasy is a thing, and by all means, do your thing, but I'm going to be over here watching people who at least seem like they were having a good time. Story 29. It's a real turnoff for me when naturally beautiful girls get duck lips, bum implants, and giant fake melons, then exclaim, "I look so good, don't I? Yeah, like 30 grand, but worth every penny. I'm so gorgeous now. I'm a right or I'm a right." My friend's girlfriend actually did this, and it was quite disheartening. She achieved the look she was going for, and she's happy with herself, which is what truly matters. However, personally, I think she was much better looking before the plastic surgery. She's a little over 5 feet tall, with shoulder length brown blonde hair and the perfect amount of freckles. The quintessential beautiful girl next door. Now she has big blonde hair, large implants, long nails, big lips, and bum implants. Don't get me wrong, she's definitely not ugly at all, but in my mind, she went from a naturally gorgeous 9 to a Kardashian 6. But as I said, what I think doesn't matter. I'm happy that she and my friend are content together, and she's definitely more confident with herself, which is also good. They're both a lot happier, and that's what's most important. Story 30. I guess it's not generally considered sexy, but I've encountered a large enough subset to feel it qualifies. I can't do any sort of degrading stuff. Whenever I'm in an intimate space online, it comes up way too casually. I don't have a general issue with being a bit dominant, but it's quite a step for my natural personality to need the right headspace for it. If I have that, I actually enjoy it. That means it needs to be extremely clearly established that this is a mutually respecting thing. Ideally, with clearly defined ideas of what's expected, okay to try, and off limits. But too many people just hit me with, "Oh yeah, use me like a worthless toy." And I'm like, okay. To clarify, this never happened in real life, but my real life experience is also restricted to very few people. Story 31. Perfect, skinny, doll-like people are a complete turn-off for me. I was looking through a page full of people and they were all skinny, hairless, featureless, like, is this what people are into? No offense to skinny people, but I don't see how someone who looks like a dollar store Barbie doll is sexy. Honestly, I like people who are at least as chubby as me, if not more. Like, damn dude, if I hugged you, it'd be like hugging a wooden plank. I don't get the appeal. Also, I like people who have features that make them look real, I guess. Like body hair, acne, moles, freckles, scars, stretch marks, etc. I don't know why this stuff is a turnoff to some people. To me, it seems like some people want a doll, not a human being. Story 32. I'm honestly not sure whether this is more of a meme or real, but I really freaking hate feet. I just have a deep foot aversion and honestly find them all nasty. And it's not just the body part, it's literally just the bare foot. Socks are totally fine. I actually wear socks pretty much all the time because I'm even grossed out by my own feet, and so are shoes. I'll even slightly avoid certain brands and whatnot if they use a footprint in their logo or anywhere in their design. I know it's probably not generally considered sexy, but I've heard far too much about foot fantasy to ignore how some people think feet can be sexy. Story 33. I loathe the over-enhanced gym monkey look. There's nothing less attractive to me than a man who lifts weights for hours and hours and takes enhancers until he resembles a brick house. Don't get me wrong, lean lift muscle is great, but if your neck looks like a tree trunk and you appear to have balloons stuffed in your t-shirt sleeves, it's a no for me. Also, if you look like you spend more time deadlifting than reading actual books, you can screw right off. Geralt in the Witcher books is supposed to be rangy and agile, and I think his video game avatar is pretty attractive, and apart from the beard, true to the novel. Henry Cavill is a handsome man, but I find his excess bulk in the TV series really off-putting. It doesn't work for his character. I also find men who are super invested in the whole get bigger gains culture often have outdated, toxic ideas about manhood and masculinity. Fitness is great. Looking like the chesty blonde man? Yeah, no. Story 34. All the kinds of photos and poses you see in the profiles of those bot accounts, fake accounts, and models who strike weird poses and go around asking for followers on random meme pages are a major turnoff for me. These pictures often feature pretty unusual and unnatural body proportions. You know, those huge bums and the way they pose. which for some reason has become the conventional idea of attractive women in the media these days. It must be considered sexy by a lot of people because that's why it has become the conventional idea of attractiveness today, but it's a huge turnoff for me. I immediately click the back button 10 times if I accidentally open such a picture or profile. Another one would be hardcore corn. Huge turnoff for me, but most guys seem to like it. Story 35. For me, it's a bit of a weird thing. I don't know if anyone is into something like that, and I don't hate on it. It's just not my thing. I always, for some reason I absolutely don't understand, appear to others as if I'm dominant, always in control of myself, my life, and others. A clean-cut, strong character. The truth is, I'm not really dominant. I'm mostly very insecure, and I definitely don't feel like I have control over a bleeping thing most of the time. I'm generally just a very calm, collected person, at least on the outside. My mental health is another story. Anyway, this look attracts a certain type of man. Very few men in general, or perhaps it's because I don't have the time and opportunities to go out and actually meet people right now, thanks to lockdown. These are the very sensitive, I need a strong woman, I want to be your servant types. I'm not saying that any of the very few people I was with were or are bad people, but that's not my cup of tea. I want equality in a relationship. Not, yes, my queen, I'll do anything for you, my queen. Your word is my law. I'm not a queen, and I do not want to be treated as superior. I need someone I can lean on, and conversely, I'm completely happy to be a shoulder to lean on. I don't want something so one-sided where I was always giving, like comfort, pleasure, etc. But if I wanted something back, I needed to explicitly tell them. In retrospect, it's always felt like they needed a second mom, not a partner. Story 36. Side note, I know this isn't generally considered sexy, but I think in a stretch that comfortability with someone could be considered sexy. However, when couples are like, yeah, we crap with the door open or this or that, that's where I draw the line. Obviously, everyone craps. Obviously, farts can be funny. But I assure you, I could go the rest of my life and never see my partner crap and be 100% okay with that. There's nothing positive that comes from that. Except now I've seen you taking a crap, which is loathsomely unsexy. I don't want you to see me either. What good can come from that? Close the door and leave it be. We can talk when you're done. Story 37. Fake, super long nails and yoga pants are definite turnoffs for me. Nails like that just seem gross and I can't help but think about what might be under them. As for yoga pants, 98% of the women wearing them have probably never done yoga and therefore shouldn't be wearing them. All I can think about is back in the 90s when pantyhose were all the rage for business attire, which my mom was all about. Yoga pants look like super thick pantyhose, and I wonder what life would be like if 90s moms went shopping in only pantyhose, and then include everyone else that wears them. I think they're weird, and I don't understand when it became fashionable to pull your already weird pants up past your belly button like you're Kylo Ren. Story 38. Talking. I know this probably has been said many times already on this thread, but no talking during intimacy. No, I don't want it harder or faster. No, I'm not telling you that you're my daddy. No, don't ask me if I like this. No. Just stop and go where your body lets you go. It's not like we're making love. In a situation like that, I get it. I can see myself making love with someone, then we both start crying or whispering sweet nothings in each other's ears. I don't know. I've never made love before. But the point is, I get if you're in love and in a committed relationship, but not in any other case. So, stop talking. Story 39. My sister told me her usual complaint about some men she's dated was that they'd always tell her she was beautiful without any makeup whenever she asked how their makeup looked. She'd say, that's great and all, but I just spent so much of my limited time painstakingly applying this makeup. Maybe I could be beautiful with makeup too? For myself, I would say overprotectiveness is a major turnoff. Your significant other interrupting a conversation you're having with someone in a hostile and overly defensive manner isn't endearing. It's problematic. A relationship will absolutely fail if you put limits on social interaction. In short, unless they're flirting, kissing, etc., I really don't see why one has to be so paranoid. If you don't trust your significant other, I don't understand why you're even with them. Story 40. Pushing things off a table to get on it and have intimacy. Ew, I don't want to have intimacy at random places in my house, especially not on my work table. Taking stuff off with such urgency like you're about to whiz. Chill, man, the other person isn't going anywhere. Passionate kissing against the wall like you're overcome with some sort of frenzy. Going all around the house with wild, crazy energy like a hunting beast, almost hurting the other person. Ice cubes, mousse, or any other food item, then licking it. I know it sounded romantic in your storybook, but sorry, it's too sticky. You'll need to wash your blanket the next day. Crazy, passionate intimacy the same day you met a stranger. I know it seems hot on TV, but you just met the person. You don't have some sort of cosmic connection with them. You probably don't even know their last name. You don't know anything about their bodies. You're just imposing what you think is sexy on them. Most of the time, they're going to awkwardly tell you not to lick their ear, that they won't go down, or that you're hurting them, etc. Story 41. Food and intimacy. Like, why? I had a girlfriend a while ago who thought chocolate sauce would make for sexy times. Don't get me wrong, she was hot as crap and lovely, so I thought to myself, alright, I'll give it a go. Never one to fantasy shame. About 30 seconds in, I started to laugh and just couldn't stop. The woman looked like a gosh darn demon from The Ring, but instead of coming out of the TV, she'd crawled up out of the crapper. Which, now to think about it, the film could have had that demon and kept the same name. Story 42. Pouty lips. What are you trying to be, a freaking frog or a duck-billed platypus or something? Shouting, "Oh God, oh darling, oh baby," continually throw intimacy. Calling me daddy, also baby talk. Licking my face while making out. Yeah, one moment while I just go and wipe your saliva off my face. Wriggling your tongue around like it's an eel trying to escape. Just go and snog an eel instead. Unfeasibly long fake nails. How the hell do you type? Grow up and be normal. Degradation. I know some people are into it, but I'm not. You're the person I need to hang around with when we're not having intimacy too, and you're my equal. No, I'm not going to call you names. Just because we're having intimacy doesn't mean that I lose respect for you. Story 43. While I fully understand the reasons behind it, I really dislike when a woman puts on makeup. Maybe just a little eyeshadow and some lipstick, but I'm a huge fan of women who roll out of bed, do their hair, wash their face, and are ready to go. Natural beauty is something that's both extremely practical for someone who meticulously manages time, to the point that I know exactly how much time it takes to get to every single place I need to get to, down to the minute, and how long every piece of clothing takes to put on. It also keeps life easy, since we can pretty much get up and go to whatever spontaneous crap we want to do without my partner having to say, "Okay, give me 30 minutes. If you take more than 10 minutes in the mirror to turn yourself into another person, then I'm sorry. I hope you have your own car, because I'm also the type to say that's too much effort. I just go to the gym instead. Story 44. I'm not sure about generally, but deep voices in women are a turnoff for me. In addition to it not being my preference, the trend in the West for the last few decades has been for a woman to speak at a register that's overall too low for their vocal cords. The most conspicuous downside of this is that when they speak with low intonations as dictated by their language, at the ends of sentences, for example, their voice hits rock bottom and they vocal fry. It's a super common thing in the West. If I were to guess, the tendency to speak too low is something that is picked up as a habit through daily conversation. My reply to the original post may as well have been vocal fry, but I sincerely doubt there's a majority or even a cult following for such an unpleasant speech issue. Story 45. Any level of machismo or physical aggression in men is a significant turnoff for me. I don't want you to get mad in my defense over the little things. I also don't want to see you punch a wall in your rage. I'll actually end up worrying that you're going to pick a dumb fight or break something over a stupid thing. Your rage makes me nervous, even if it's not directed at me. It's not a turn on. Like, sure, if someone is actually trying to hurt me or creep on me, I don't mind a guy stepping in to help, but it should be a last resort. I much prefer a man who wants to just leave or de-escalate a situation as calmly as possible. Story 46. Mushy romantic people? Ugh, makes me cringe. I once told a guy I was dating that I wasn't really the romantic type, hoping he would take the hint to tone down all the compliments. He replied that he would be the romantic one and turned it up to 10. Gifts, homemade chocolate, strawberries, and all. He was a nice guy, but it just gave me the ick and ended any attraction. Please stop. I'm not your princess or whatever. Other female friends have told me that I date like a man, so maybe I'm weird. Seeing couples on social media being cutesy with each other has always made me go, lol, gross. Just be a chill, cool person and give me some breathing room, please. Story 47. Makeup that isn't a completely natural look isn't a turn-off per se, but I usually have a very hard time giving a genuine compliment, unless it's something generally like, "You look nice." If I don't personally know you or know you that well, then it doesn't matter, as I'm probably seeing you at an event where makeup like that belongs, and I barely ever see you. At the end of the day, it still doesn't matter, as I'm not judging, and my you-do-you mindset is strong. However, for someone I'm having relations with, I'm definitely not interested in a heavy makeup person by any means. Well, if you like these stories, here's more. YouTube thinks you're gonna love this. Catch you in that video.